Good morning, all you red-blooded, hard-working American citizens. Welcome to my table. Here, I want to open up honest discussion and debate about certain issues in our lives that we know just ain't getting any better. So, I want to talk a little bit about how to fix problems. Now, when it comes to systems, the only way to fix those problems are from within. This video is going to be a little bit about cops. I know that there's a lot more good cops than bad cops. Why do you good cops insist on working with the bad cops? This is going to go along in my bully videos too, because I had what I call bad cops approaching me. I want to set you up a little bit for the video I'm going to show you. I apologize because it's upside down, but literally, I was fucking nervous. It kind of involves the sex trade thing in my local community. And I hope to God that this young lady got help. But I had some Richland County detectives knocking on my door, threatening to give me a felony if I don't answer their questions. All the information that I know about this or this person is definitely third hand. She never told me. It's just other people around her told me. So, in any court of law, that doesn't necessarily work. So, I had to stand my ground because I know in my community that thing is at the highest levels. So I had some cops come knock on my door one day asking me about this girl. I was like, awesome. Finally, people are gonna help this woman. She got kids even. I feel bad for the kids. But people, the cops, were looking into it and wanting to help her. So they approached my door. I went out. They asked me where I heard my information from. And for the most part, that's why I don't remember names. Now I'll remember faces. And I definitely remember the different stories. If you could answer some of my questions to them, I can remember those. But when it comes to identifying people with names, I ended up not liking to. I won't remember your name. I'm going to remember your story. That's the most important thing when you actually live a life seeking out and trying to meet new people all the time. I love it. COVID affected me because I still went out and met folks, just in a different way. But it slowed me down, slowed everything down. Still hasn't picked up my way of meeting real people and learning real things. So they asked me who I heard stuff from. And I'm by all means not trying to get people like harassed, because at that juncture they ended up threatening me with a felony. And I'm all like having the feeling that these guys just want to know who knows, so that way they can address it accordingly. So they ended up leaving. They gave me their card, told me to call them when I changed my mind. So I pretty much went immediately to the Lexington Police Department. I asked the sergeant on duty if he could call those folks and let them know, not if they have any questions by all, or want to talk to me again, by all means call me. I'll meet them at the Lexington Police Department or the Richland County Sheriff's Department. And we'll talk in a recorded environment. So, he went back, he called him, he come out, and he's like, yeah, I talked to him. They said, cool. I'm like, okay, at least they're not going to come knocking on my door anymore, I thought. At exactly 8 o'clock in the morning, I was in the shower and I heard a cop knock. Now, I didn't know who it was. Like, I was in the shower, I'm like, that knocking? So I hopped out, had my towel around me, and I tiptoed to look out my peephole, and they had the peephole covered. Kind of good cop covers the peephole. So I tiptoed back in my bedroom, dried off a little bit, put on a pair of shorts and a shirt, didn't even put on boxers. I called LPD, Lexington Police Department. I told them what I knew. I got people slamming on my door and they covered my peephole. Can you please send an officer immediately? Same sergeant that said he called him the day prior ended up being the one that showed up. But I then grabbed my GoPro and I turned it on. So I started tiptoeing back to try to look out the peephole again. And that's when I heard the actual officer's voice. And he's like, come on, Nathan, open the door. This is such and such. And I was like, okay, now I know it's the cops. I set my GoPro down upside down because I was nervous because of they could have called me. I could have met them someplace. Kind of like I wanted. So I ended up opening my door, but I had the chain link. And I started communicating with them. This is basically what saved my ass at the end of the day. I did have to lawyer up. And I did have to show up for court. But at the end of the day, I got lucky. I did a couple key things that literally saved me. So this is the video I got.
For obstruction of your business, okay? So you can open the door and take the summons when it goes. I will make the door and arrest you when you go downtown and flip guns. That's your choice right now, okay? So you can open the door and take the summons when it goes. I will make the door and arrest you when you go downtown and flip guns. That's your, okay? So you can open the door and take the summons when it goes. I will make the door and arrest you when you go downtown and flip guns. That's your choice right now, okay? It wasn't gonna be, okay? So you can open the door and take the summons when it goes. I will make the door and arrest you when you go downtown and flip guns. That's your choice right now, okay? It wasn't gonna be.
I hope you heard where he said, I'm liable to kick your door open and take you down and book you anyway, with his partner catching his cuffs. Like, which way you want to have it? Now, I know for a fact, if I would have unlocked my door, went out there and not told those men what they answered their questions, honestly, right? They would have handcuffed me and took me down to the station and booked me. If you live in my area and you've had to engage with some of them folks, you can hear all sorts of stories this way. That and it didn't work out for people. Like, it did cost me. Like, it cost me $180 for court costs, which I want my money back. And it cost my time. I was literally packing my stuff up so that way I could travel here at Michigan and hang out and do my camping expedition that I wanted to do. And then I was going to come back to Ohio and try to do all this stuff. But no, I had court dates. Now, there's nothing that I did that makes me extra special than what anybody else can do, right? And I got lucky. I got fortunate. I got blessed with the ability to think real quick on my feet. After that engagement, like literally 3 seconds after the dude, which way you want to do it? Lexington PD came in the door. The main door to my apartment complex. And at that juncture, I undid the chain and I went out there and he gave me my ticket. But you see how I'm pretty dead set convinced if LPD didn't show up, they would have kicked my door in and they would have took me down and booked me because I wasn't opening my door freely for them. I hope this helps people. I know for all the good cops that work at Richland County, like if you guys want to join, I want you guys to join. Let's talk about these things that you actually see at work, at your job. And by all means, let's say names. Like, these are the mean cops, and I don't like working with them. It's the reason why I can't be a cop. I would love to grow up to be a cop, but not if I gotta accept working with the bad ones and actually have to help them do not good stuff to citizens. That's why I can't be a cop. But maybe someday, if we can get a handle on these things. So that's me, a little bit about me standing up to the bullies that I've encountered in my life, finally.